Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that literally strikes at a primal human fear, that whole illusion of safety we cling to. We lock our doors, shut the blinds, and totally convince ourselves we're safe from the outside world. But what if that boundary is already broken? What if the threat isn't trying to break in, because it's already breathing the same air as you? We're going to break down a story simply called The Last Message and see exactly how it builds absolute terror in just a matter of minutes. Just put yourself in this scenario for a second. Picture it. It's the middle of the night. You're totally alone and your house is dead silent. Suddenly, your phone lights up. It's not a notification. It's not a friend checking in. It's a text stating as an absolute fact that someone is already inside your house. How on earth do you process that? Do you panic? Do you just freeze up? Or do you try to rationalize it away like the main character in our story? It is such a brilliant psychological hook. So kicking things off with Chapter 1, the 2:17 a.m. message. Let's set the scene here. It is exactly 2:17 a.m. We meet a young guy named Ali who's wide awake, just working alone on his laptop in a dark room, and the sensory details the story uses here are just fantastic for setting the mood. Outside, it's pouring rain, which instantly makes the house feel totally cut off from the rest of the world. Inside, nothing but the glow of his screen and that heavy, isolating quiet you only get in the dead of May. And from there, the escalation is just relentless. At 2:17 a.m., Ali gets that first text. Literally 1 minute later, at 2:18, the silence is shattered by knocking. And then by 2:19, the threat completely shifts from outside the house to inside with the sound of footsteps. In just 3 minutes, Ollie's quiet, normal night completely spirals into a nightmare. It moves so fast, it doesn't give him or us a single second to catch our breath. It all starts when this exact message pops up on Allie's phone. Don't open the door. I'm already inside your house. Talk about menacing, right? It's just so blunt. When Ali reads this, he totally freezes. He looks around his dark, silent living room. And then he basically does what most of us would do to keep from losing our minds. He nervously laughs it off. He convinces himself, hey, it's just a prank, someone's messing with me. It's a totally natural defense mechanism against something so unnatural. But, well, that defense mechanism is destroyed almost instantly. Just as he's brushing it off, knock. Knock, knock. That sudden jarring sound cuts right through the silence of his house. And this isn't some gentle tap on the glass, okay? This is a heavy, deliberate knock at the front door. The timing is just impeccable. It instantly kills his whole "it's just a prank" theory and forces him to face the reality that somebody is actually there. So drawn by the noise, Ali creeps toward the front door. But before his hand even touches the deadbolt, his phone buzzes again. The message says, "I said don't open it." This is the real kicker, the surveillance aspect. Whoever is sending this isn't just inside, they're actively watching him, right in that moment. Ali stumbles back in absolute shock. The knocking stops dead. The house is quiet again, but it's definitely not peaceful anymore. It's totally suffocating. Which brings us to Chapter 2, Searching in the Dark. Because now that the knocking has stopped, an even worse sound starts up. Coming from the floor above him, Ali hears footsteps. Slow, heavy footsteps. The whole geography of the horror has just shifted. The threat isn't outside the door anymore. It's literally walking the halls upstairs. Ali whispers out loud, "But I live alone." His heart is absolutely pounding now, and the sheer gravity of what's happening really sinks in. Running purely on adrenaline at this point, Ali grabs a flashlight and a heavy kitchen knife from the counter. He starts creeping up the stairs, and the story goes out of its way to note that every single step creaks, completely giving away his position. He methodically checks room after room, finding absolutely nothing. The tension is just winding up tighter and tighter until suddenly the bathroom door slowly swings shut all by itself. Bang! It doesn't just click shut, it violently slams. In a house that's been all about quiet text messages and soft footsteps up until now, this huge explosion of sound is just terrifying. It's a challenge. It forces Ollie to make a move. So, gripping his kitchen knife, he charges forward and shoves the bathroom door open, totally bracing himself to fight whatever is on the other side. But nobody is there. The bathroom is completely empty. It's like the intruder literally vanished into thin air. But they did leave him a little present. Scrawled right there on the bathroom mirror, fresh in the condensation, are the words, "You're too late." It's such a psychological game. The intruder is playing with him, always staying one step ahead. And right as Ollie is reading that message, the beam of his flashlight starts to flicker. And then the bulb just dies. Total darkness. Ali is instantly plunged into pitch black. This is brilliant because it strips away his primary sense of sight, making him incredibly vulnerable. The darkness almost feels like a physical weight pressing down on him. He is now completely at the mercy of whatever unseen thing is sharing his house. Moving on to Chapter 3, the live camera feed. Now desperate, Ali fumbles for his phone and turns on its flashlight. That harsh, artificial LED beam cuts through the dark and immediately spotlights something on the floor. Muddy footprints. A literal, physical trace of the intruder. And honestly, the scariest part? The footprints lead straight out of the bathroom, down the hall, and right into Ali's own slightly opened bedroom door. So Ali follows the mud and gently pushes his bedroom door open. And what he finds inside is seriously a masterclass in modern suspense. His laptop is sitting there, wide awake, casting a glow in the dark room. Pulled up on the screen is a live security camera feed. And on that live video, he can clearly see a figure standing right behind his own chair. Pure panic takes over. Ali violently spins around, shining his phone light frantically across the room, totally ready to confront this person. But he finds nobody. The room behind him is entirely empty. The disconnect here is wild. What that digital screen is showing him and what his own eyes are seeing in the physical room completely contradict each other, and it is totally mind-bending. Ali snaps his head back to the laptop. The figure is still there on the screen, and it gets so much worse. In the first second, the figure is just standing there. The next second, it takes a step closer. By the third second, this thing is looming right over Ali's digital shoulder. He is literally paralyzed, watching his own doom play out on a screen, right until the moment the laptop violently cuts to black. Which leads us to our final act. Chapter 4, the final twist. The laptop is dead, so the room is completely dark again. The visual horror is over, sure, but the auditory horror comes right back for the final blow. The absolute crushing silence of that bedroom is shattered by a whisper. And it's not coming from the phone, and it's not coming from the laptop speakers. It is right behind Ali's ear. The voice simply whispers, "Now, it's your turn." The shock is so intense that Ali's hand just goes limp. His phone drops, the glass screen cracks against the hardwood floor. And with that, the story goes dead silent. We don't get a big fight scene. The actual confrontation is left completely up to our own imaginations, which honestly makes it way scarier. The narrative then hard cuts to the aftermath, the next morning. The police show up to investigate, and what do they find? Absolutely nothing. The house is perfectly normal. No forced entry, no broken windows, no fingerprints anywhere. Even those muddy footprints on the carpet have completely vanished. The official police report is going to say the house was untouched. But right in the middle of that perfectly normal scene is the grim reality. Ali is gone, and the only thing left behind is his cracked phone lying alone on the floor. And as the cops are standing around in this seemingly empty, totally normal bedroom, one last thing happens. Lying there on the floor, the cracked screen of Ali's phone suddenly lights up all by itself. A brand new text notification pops up on the shattered glass. It just says, "You're next." Whatever this curse is, whatever entity was in that house, it's not finished. It's moving on to someone else. And the source material leaves us with this one incredibly lingering thought. Some messages should never be opened. It takes something so boring, so everyday, checking a text on your phone, and turns it into a trigger for total horror. It genuinely makes you look at your own devices a little differently, right? And maybe makes you question how secure your own home really is. So the next time you're home alone in the quiet and your phone buzzes in the dark, are you going to open it? Thanks for exploring this explainer with me today. Stay curious and definitely stay safe out there.